Hi everyone, Sabrina here with my December TBR and where did 2021 go? I mean, to be honest, it's been a pretty sucky sort of year, hasn't it? It'd be nice to have some semblance of a normal year, but who knows when. My December TBR is decided by picking out a title from various jars. For those of you that are new to this, I have 4 jars. One's middle grade, one YA, one adult and one random. And by random, I mean really random. I pick one from each, possibly decide if I like it, keep it, or may not, and get another one. And then the plan is to completely ignore what I pulled out of the jar and read whatever the hell I want. So there we go. That is the idea of my TBR game. I failed in the month of November to complete my TBR. Anyone surprised? No. I did manage to do 2 books from my actual sort of stack of 6. And read a whole pile of everything else I wanted to read. So, hey. I did say if I didn't read the Poldark book this month, then I would be unhauling it, and that will be happening. It's been sat on my shelves long enough now. I have the first 2 books. They're not getting read, so they can go. I've just folded them up, and I can't actually remember which was which. So I'm not going to put them back in the jar yet, because I'm going to have to work out what they are. Which jar they go in. And the Poldark series will be removed completely from my shelf. Right, should we start off? Let's start with the oh god, is that blood and honey? That might be the bloody honey. Yeah, bloody honey jar. Oh, right. Okay. I have no idea what's in this jar, so we'll find out in a minute. Empress of a Thousand Skies duology. So this must be my YA box. Let's have a look. Dun, 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 dun. I've got so many books on the floor. Right, so I kind of said to myself when I set up these jars that if I had to read the sequel to a book I already had, I was going to read the whole duology. So the Empress of a Thousand Skies, I have actually read. This is by Rhoda Belleza. This was a Fairy Loot book. I think this was my first Fairy Loot book. So yes, I have read this. I really liked it actually. It felt like a proper classic sci-fi story in a modern telling. So I really liked it. But I haven't read its sequel yet, Blood of a Thousand Stars. So what the plan is to read both of these books. This will be a reread. This will be a finishing off the duology. 2 books. It's a good job I get 2 weeks off in December, isn't it? Okay, my next jar. This is my We Hunt the Flame jar. I love that book. Please read it if you have not read it. And I'm going to say that every single time because it's a fantastic book. Okay, here we go. Mistborn series. No. Nothing against Mistborn, and yes, I do need to finish book 3 in the series, but I have promised to read The Wheel of Time, book 2, and I didn't read it last month, so I'm going to read it this month. So I'm going to put that one back. I'm going to pick another one. Please be something small. Please be something small. It's a Farseer trilogy. Again, I'm doing Wheel of Time. I'm not going to bounce between 3 different fantasy series. Please. It makes sense in my head, honestly. It really does. Honeycomb! There we go. This is where I now have to fight my way round to the book trolley to get it. I hope I don't knock anything over in the process. The Honeycomb by Joanne M. Harris. This was a book given to me by my mate, who, yeah. Oh, it's illustrated. I didn't know it was illustrated. There you go. So this was a book that kind of did the rounds for a couple of weeks and then disappeared in the world. But I have, this is a beautiful hardback edition, which is really, really nice. I have no idea what this is about. It's not too hefty. I mean, it's a heavy book. Why are there no page numbers? Oh, there they are. So, 417 pages. God, for the weight of that, I thought it was a 500-page book. I can do that. That's a week's reading. Yeah, okay. So that must mean this is the middle grade jar. This is my Sarah J. Maas Night Court jar. Oh, God, this is getting quite thin in here. Let's see, what have we got? Land of Stories series. I don't want to read that. Sorry, I don't want to read that. I know. Why have jars to pick out of if you're just going to throw them back in? Because I can. That's why. Disney villains. Yeah, I can do Disney villains. So, you probably can't quite see, but a shelf up there has all the Twisted Tales and Disney villains books. So I'm going to go and pick one. Right, I've chosen Cold Hearted. This is written by Serena Valentino. This is obviously Cinderella's Wicked Stepmother's story, which is, there you go, I do like that. You know, I do like Lady Tremaine. I think there's a lot more to her than people realise. So I'm going to read this. This should take me a couple of days because it's 267 pages. Nice. Right, and now for my odds and sods jar. Like I say, this is completely random. I have no idea really what I've put in here or why I've put them in here. So let's see what comes out. If I can pick one. God, it's so cold. My hands aren't working at all properly today. Classic novel. No. I'll tell you why. I am currently doing Great Expectations and A Christmas Carol in the library lessons at work. So I'm not going to be reading another classic novel. Not this month anyway. Sorry. Right, Fairy Loot books to read. So, ooh, that nearly went everywhere. So there we go, Fairy Loot books to read. Or read. Is that red? Did I put read or read? Ooh, maybe that's a Fairy Loot book I've read. So maybe that's a reread. That might be a reread. Oh, criminy. See, this is the problem of having the same spelling but different meaning of a word. Is it read or read? I'm going to go with red. I think it's red. So Fairy Loot book I have read. So, oh, that's a shame because I've got loads I want to read actually. One I have read. Ooh, I don't know which one to pick. This is actually quite hard. Okay, so Fairy Loot book I have read would be Everless by Sarah Holland. Or is it Sarah Holland? I have students at school that pronounce Sarah but spelled like that, which is really off-putting sometimes. Yeah, I have issues with names. This one I have read. I read this over Christmas quite a few years ago. Was this like a Fairy Loot Christmas book? I can't remember. 2018. 2018 I read this. So what I'm going to do is read that, and then, just to make more work for myself, I'm going to read Evermore, which is the sequel, because I haven't read this yet, and this has been on my shelf for a couple of years, and I really want to read it. And also, I mean, look at the aesthetics, red, teal, it's gorgeous. So there we go, I'm going to read this one, and then read this one. So that's one from my 4 jars. How many books have I got? Oh shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 books already. 2 duologies, obviously. So ironically, 2 Fairy Loot duologies as well. I'm really bad at finishing off duologies, aren't I? So I'm going to pick one more book to read. And like I say, I will probably ignore most of this as well. But all these books, even if I don't read them, I will be keeping because I love them for one reason or another. So I'm going to pick one random book that I want to read. Oh, sugar, because you know what I wanted to do? I picked up Cytonic the other day. So I was going to reread Skyward and Starsight and then finish off with Cytonic. But that would be stupid, would it not? Or do you think I could do that? Do you think I could do that? Or should I just jump in and read Cytonic and then do a reread later on? Because I do remember quite well what went on. I think it's got a previously. Please have a previously. It'd be really nice. There's no previously. Why can't we have previouslys in these books? Oh, right, I'm going to put this on the pile to read. If I really can't remember a single thing that's gone on before, I will reread the other 2 books. But I'm going to add this one and just hope I can remember enough of Starsight. I only read it last year. Was it last year? Was it the year before? Oh, God. I'll put that on there. And also I have The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan, which is book 2 in the Wheel of Time. I've got that from the library. It's currently sitting downstairs. I've renewed it once. I really, really, really need to read that, and that's going to take a full week reading. So I need to get a shift on it and do that. So there we go. So I have 8 planned books for December's TBR. I am excited to read all of them, but as you know from previous, I have previous. Whether I read them or not is another matter. Okay, let me know what's on your December TBR. What have you picked to read? As you can see, not one Christmassy book, not one. But I'm doing Christmas Carol at work, so that counts. Let me know down below your list of December reads and anything that I, again, should be adding to my humongous TBR pile. As always, check out the description box down below for all my usual MacGuffins and links to Booktubers that I think you should go and check out because algorithms are absolutely appalling and suck hugely. Thank you, Google. As always, thank you very much for watching and happy reading. Be well.